I want to zoom in on one issue that's gotten a lot of attention lately, which is a trip that Taiwan President Lai Ching-te was reportedly supposed to take to visit Latin American allies with reportedly stopovers in the U.S. along the way. Last week, many international media outlets reported that that trip was called off after the U.S. denied Lai the ability to stop over in New York on the way there over objections from China. Based on your experience working in the White House, I'm wondering how likely this is that happened and what your thoughts are on this apparent decision.
Yeah, well, look, we should look, one, historically, that President Trump did more than any American president to strengthen the high-level exchanges between the U.S. and Taiwan. What I would say is, a lot of this is reporting, anonymous reporting that's playing out in the media. It's a gift to the Chinese Communist Party to have this type of he said, she said speculation. We don't know the details. I would encourage my Taiwanese friends not to focus unduly on reported trip cancellations and these types of details. We play right into the hands of the CCP when we overly analyze these things and we allow them to use this as propaganda to try and divide the United States from Taiwan.
Given that Taiwanese presidents have made stopovers in the U.S. before, including during Trump's first term, some experts have suggested this could indicate a change or a softening of U.S. policy towards China, especially given reports that Taiwan's defense minister was also supposed to go to the U.S. in June for meetings with high-level Pentagon officials, but that was also postponed because of objections from China. So I'm wondering what you think of this. Do you think Trump is warming up or softening his policies toward China?
Look, President Trump is the first president in American history to declare unambiguously that our foremost national security threat is the PRC. I think when his national security strategy comes out later this year, it's going to reaffirm and even deepen his public commitment to making the organizing principle of U.S. national security policy the China threat. I have no reason to think, and I'm very confident, that the president is not changing his understanding and his approach to China at the strategic level. In terms of how the United States is positioned toward China, I think you're going to see the type of continuity from the president's first term, where we continue to harden ourselves and work with our partners to harden themselves against this extraordinary threat that we face from the CCP.
A central goal for Taiwan right now in the U.S.-Taiwan relationship is to achieve a favorable tariff rate. Having worked with Trump and in the Trump administration, I'm wondering, what do you think it will take for Taiwan to make a reasonable deal with Trump on tariffs? And do you expect that the deal will require large amounts of investment from Taiwan or other compromises?
One, investment's important, and we've seen Korea, Japan commit to make substantial investments, and I do think the president wants to use these negotiations partially to get that type of investment in the United States. But there's a more, I think from the Taiwanese perspective, there's a truth here that may not be comfortable, but we need to acknowledge it, which is the president has a fundamentally different view of the world trading system than has prevailed for a long time. I think that this is less about specific things Taiwan can do than the fact that the American people want to reindustrialize. We want a higher tariff in order to promote reindustrialization in the United States. Yes, the president uses these negotiations as leverage and bargaining, but up to a certain point. I think my main point here is that the president at a certain level is going to stop negotiating, and there's going to be a very high tariff, and that's going to stay for a long time. And so I think we should focus less on what can Taiwan